Keenan Shanholtz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty, and today we're looking at 181 acres off of Back Creek Road in Highview, West Virginia. You know, from right here, you're less than 30 minutes to Winchester, Virginia. We're kind of on the far eastern side of Hampshire County. And what I want to point out here is I'm standing in Back Creek Road. And there's a 20-foot right-of-way that goes back to this property. And my truck's here on the right-of-way road, which it's a good road, you know. And what you'll see, I'll zoom in here a little bit. There's the gate up there for the people that use this road. And I got all that documentation and stuff in the documents. So, you know, you'll have access to that. It's pretty self-explanatory. But I'll just show you here. We got the four-wheeler today. I'm just going to take you on a tour of this place as I go. I've been on this property a time or two in the past, but you're going to get to see most of it for the first time with me. So, but I want to show you here. Here's the general layout of the property. And this is Back Creek Road. I mean, I'm right here like this. And the little dotted line is the right-of-way road, you know, that you use to access the property. So, and as you can see, like the calling card for this property is going to be how good it lays. I mean, the TOPO is fantastic for 181 acres. So that gate we're going to go through is about right here. And when we get up to the property, you know, the little road veers off to the right of the right-of-way road there, and there's another gate there. And then we'll get up on the property there and look around. About the only other thing I could point out down here right now is, and I'll have to investigate this as we go, but I'm not sure. There's no electricity on this property that I've seen, which is not that uncommon for something this size. And I'll have to kind of look around to see where the closest electric is. But in the right-of-way agreement for this property, it provides for the right to pull electricity up the right-of-way road here. And on the other side of Back Creek Road, right through here, probably about 100 yards is electricity. There's an electric line that runs through there like that. But we'll explore that more as we go. But super easy access. It's very private out here. It's a beautiful day today. So we're going to have some fun and look around. Keenan Shanholtz here again, West Virginia Land and Home Realty. This is going to be clip number 2 on the 181 acres here in Highview. What I want to point out here is, so I've came, Back Creek Road's down there, so I've come back the right-of-way road, and it's maybe a quarter mile or so back here until you get to the property. And what I want to show here, I put a pink ribbon there, but you see the red paint on the tree. This property was surveyed about 10 years ago, and it is very well marked. The surveyor who did this does an excellent job marking stuff. As you can see, you know, the trees are hacked and painted red where the property lines are. And you'll even see that there's a T-post, a red T-post set right there. It's very well marked. You cannot get lost on this thing if you start walking around it. But basically, as soon as you get onto the property here, because there's a certain portion of the property that lays over here on this side of the right-of-way road, you know, I don't know, maybe 20 acres or something like that if I had to guess. I haven't really measured it. But just want to show you here. So as soon as you come onto the property, you know, right here you'll see how there's the gate to the property right there. It's got a tree across it, so I'm going to have to cut that out of the way. But you know, you're here now. So we'll go up in there and poke around. Keenan Shanholtz here again, 181 acres Highview. This will be clip number 3. And so now I'm up here on the property, and this is the way I drove in. You can see my tire tracks there. And when you pop up, we're maybe 100 yards from the gate. You'll see my truck sitting there. I got the four-wheeler unloaded to explore here. But the owners had like a little, I think at one time I saw in one of the aerial photos, they had a camper here. But you could see they got like a little setup there with a grill and stuff and a little platform built there. But from where I'm at here, you'll see, I mean, I think this thing's going to have a really, really good road system in it. You can see how the road takes off through the woods that way. and then also on the other side of my truck there. So this is just a nice staging area right here, right once you get through the gate. But I'll just show you where we're at on the map here. So the property lays just kind of the way we're sitting here. And right here, you can even see like a little clearing there at my fingernail. We're on this little ridge right in here. So that's where we are, and we got all this to explore. So let's go. Keenan Shanholtz here again, West Virginia Land and Home Realty. This is going to be clip number 4 here on the 181 acres. And this is a really nice trail in here. It just needs cleaned out. You know, you have to, I mean, you could bring a pickup up through here. You just need to come in here. I mean, there's years of stuff down across these roads. But I'm going to show you where we're at here on the map. So I took that last video about right in here. And I'm on this trail, and it just kind of stayed in. I've just kind of been driving along the property line. And right now I'm up about right in here, and I have a feeling this road that I'm on might that might be it right there. But I mean, you could see that's the road going out through there. And to show you how I told you it was really well marked, you see the red paint on the tree right there. But from what I'm seeing so far, I mean, the road network in here is massive, I think. And it's not going to take much but a chainsaw and some manpower to get all these roads where you can drive a pickup around this whole thing. So, like I said, we're about right here, and we'll just keep it going. Keenan Shanholtz here again. This will be clip number 5 on the 181 acres. And what I kind of want to illustrate here is, now I'm up about right here on this high point at 1,400 feet, where I'm at right now. And as you could see, if you had to draw up like a hunting property, I think there's like 7 little different swales and drainages across here with this main hollow kind of running through the middle like this. But I'm up in here right now, and I'm going to say this property was probably timbered about 20 years ago, would be my guess, 15 to 20. And so it's past the stage like where you see the forest floor is very clean. It's not, there's not underbrush or anything like that. And you have a bunch of 10 to 14 inch hardwood timber in here that's spaced out really nice. And probably in another 20 years, this thing's going to yield probably a really good cut of timber. And I mean, you can just see how this ground just lays fantastic. I mean, there is not a steep place on it anywhere. And that's hard to do in West Virginia on a 5-acre piece, much less something that's 181 acres. So just wanted to point that out here. Really good stand. Whoever cut this did a really good job. And the roads that we're going to be riding around on here today are the roads I'm sure they put in when they got the timber out of here. So we'll just keep going. Keenan Shanholtz here again, West Virginia Land and Home Realty. This is going to be the final clip I do here on the 181 acres in Highview. And I've given my 4-wheeler a workout today. I've been pretty hard on her today. But so basically what I've done here, and I guess the best way to sum this place up is it's massive. If you're looking for just a big private recreational property, I mean, this ground's unrestricted. You can do whatever you want here. ATV, shoot, hunt. I mean, whatever you want to do, you can do it. And it pretty much, for the most part, all looks the same, you know. So where I'm at right now, my truck's parked right up here, and I'm right down here along this boundary, pretty close to this boundary with the neighbor, and this is Back Creek Road down here. It looks like the neighbors just cut timber on this here, and I jumped up a pile of deer right in here. But basically all I've done today was I came up in here, I've been up in here, back down across, and back over to the edge of the big hollow here. This is the big hollow that runs through the center of it. And I got kind of the edge of it there, and I'm sure I just haven't found it, a logging road that gets you over across the big hollow onto the other side over here, which I've only covered maybe a third of it, I'd say, from what I've done here today. But basically every little ridge top that I got on And you could see here, you know, there's old logging roads that go out those ridge tops. But like there's all these old dead limbs, you know, basically across all the trails, which I was just running them over in my four-wheeler fine, you know. But probably what you need to do here, if you get this place, once the leaves come off the trees, it's going to be a little bit, and it's pretty open. I mean, for being summertime, it's really not hard to see in here at all. But, you know, wait till the leaves are off, or you explore it after you get it and find and kind of flag all the little trails and have somebody. I mean, you could do it by hand. I mean, most of the stuff you can just pick up and throw out of the pass. None of it's big, but might be a good idea just to hire a guy with a dozer for a day and just let them run and kind of shove all this dead stuff out of all these trails in here. And I would say most of them are big enough, plenty good enough to get a pickup around on this place. I mean, any kind of ATV or side-by-side will do fine here. But you're just going to have to find all the little trails. I mean, they're on every little finger, you know, and open everything back up. And it's hard to tell how many miles of little logging roads and stuff there is on this place. I mean, it's a ton. And as you could see, I mean, the woods pretty much look the same throughout this whole place. I mean, you know, it's 10 to 14 inch timber. You'll find a bigger tree every now and then, but it's mostly all hardwoods. You'll have a little pine scattered here and there. But, you know, if you wanted to draw up the perfect hunting property, you know, it probably looked something like this. I mean, all these little fingers, the blue lines there are the bottoms, the little hollows and stuff, little drainages and swales. And these big ridge tops and stuff up here. I mean, I'm over here on this ridge. This is a big, huge ridge network over here. And that runs all the way down in there. You get across the big hollow, you got a whole big ridge network in there. Then there's another draw here, and you got another big ridge network over here that runs all the way down to this corner like this. So, I mean, it just rolls just like this the whole way. Nothing steep, just gentle up and down. Really nice property. And, I mean, the location of this is as far east as I can get anybody, you know, without being, we're very, very, very close to the Virginia line right here. Like I said, we're probably not over 20 miles, 25 at the most, west of Interstate 81. So if you live in Northern Virginia, you're going to easily be here in less than 2 hours. Good roads to get here and stuff. The places like this are just really hard to come by anymore. You know, something that's not, this certainly is not an exorbitant price. It's about $3,000 an acre for 181 acres in this location. You don't find them, you know, and the access is good. Just so proud. I mean, you can't see or hear nothing from here. I mean, it's very quiet. You may have some views when the leaves are off, maybe. I mean, because you're at 1,400 foot elevation in here. You don't realize you're that high when you're in here. But, yeah, I mean, you know, there's a big laundry list of folks looking for something like this. And it's been about a year. You know, I had a couple places of this ilk last summer and really haven't had anything like this since then, you know. So that goes to tell you it's been about a year since I've had anything like this, you know, something that's mostly all wooded, something I would classify, you know, as a big recreational, unrestricted, like hunting recreational property, you know. And I mean, I peddle in this stuff. Nobody gets more of it than me. And it's basically been a year since I've had, it was last July, I had 2 of them and sold them both within about a week. So, if you've been on the hunt for something like this, the hunt's over. Come get it.